Hello, everybody, and welcome to Vlogmas Day 4. Today is a Mindset Monday video, so we're going to be talking about 7 hard truths about motivation, and I have my notes here because I'm going to go over these with you. I know that in December sometimes, and even just the winter months in general, it can be really hard to stay motivated just because it's dark, it's cold, there's lots of treats, there's lots of parties, and so staying motivated um, proves to be really difficult during this time. And so I just want to share some of the truths about motivation with you guys, and hopefully this will help you guys to stay motivated as well. So the first thing you need to know about motivation is that you do not just feel motivated all the time. You have to behave your way into being motivated. And a lot of times people are like, well, I just don't have the motivation. Okay, neither do I, right? I actually am not motivated at all. Sometimes I have to really convince myself that I need to go work out. I've got to convince myself that I need to go, strength train or do my stretching or my foam rolling or my recovery stuff. I just don't really want to do it all the time. But the more that you do something, the more you like it. And that goes for good things and bad things. So, like, the more you eat sugar, the more you want it. The more you drink soda, the more you want it. And so, it actually works both ways. It works for good things and bad things. So, just know that you have to behave your way into feeling. You don't feel your way into behaving. I think that's a big misconception that even I fall into the trap of sometimes. Being like, well, I don't feel like it. Then I have to be like, okay, well, you will only feel like it when you start doing it. So just know that you have to behave your way into feeling motivated. You actually create motivation. That's like the cool thing about motivation is that you create it by doing. So whether it's, hey, you need to eat more green vegetables, or you need to eat more protein, start doing that so that you're more motivated to do so. Okay. Nobody feels motivated all the time. That's number two. Nobody feels motivated all the time. I think we live in a society where people give their best foot forward, especially on social media. And so you look at these people and they're always posting workouts. That's me, right? But that doesn't mean that they're motivated. And in fact, a lot of times they're not. And if you want my honest opinion, a lot of times these people are pre-recording their workouts. So they don't even actually are not even actually working out every day. Um, but the other thing that you must know about these people is that even though they're not motivated all the time, they just do it anyway. And there's this idea, we have to get over the idea of I have to feel like doing it to do it. And that's the key thing about discipline is just doing it even though you don't want to. Because we sometimes, I think, confuse discipline with motivation. Like motivation for me is like comes in waves, but I try and always be disciplined. Number three, when if you are feeling unmotivated, check in with your sleep cycle. If you're not getting enough sleep, it's really hard to think clearly and make good decisions because your primary goal is to feel well rested. So your body is not going to be thinking about necessarily the healthiest thing. I take that back. The healthiest thing will be getting more sleep. It's not going to be, working out or eating well or whatever. It's going to be getting more sleep. So if you are sleep deprived, number one thing that happens with your nutrition is that you end up going for carbohydrate and fat dense foods because those are the easiest to digest and they have the best energy. So if you're not sleeping well, it's almost impossible to be motivated because your brain's priority is like, I need rest, right? Um, Number four, motivation thrives in community. I think this is something that we don't really talk about a lot, but if you want to stay motivated, surround yourself with people who have the same goals that you do. Surround yourself with people who are pushing you to also do the same thing. That is the power of like going to a workout class or going to a strength training class or like not even fitness related, like being around other believers who are going to push you, people with the same thought process as you, who are going to motivate you and uplift you. Of course, we need to be around people who are different from us. But when it comes to motivation, you actually need to be in a community of people who also value what you value and they can help motivate you. when I started doing CrossFit, like 5 or 6 years ago, I did CrossFit. It was a 5 a.m. class. And, it was, I was like, okay, I'm accountable to these people because they will ask, like, where were you last week? And so it was really nice. Actually, I kind of missed that community of having, okay, we're all working out together. There's this like time that we have together, and you feel motivated to go work out because there's people there. So you have to have a community if you want to stay motivated. That is essential. And that can even be like an online community. A lot of people, like if you follow like other fitness people, or you're in groups with other people, like Facebook groups, so you can chat with people online. Like that's also considered a community where you can kind of stay on top of your game. Okay. Um, Number 5, also a little bit kind of not expected, is that if you practice joy and gratitude, you will actually feel more motivated. Because what happens is if you're feeling depressed, or you're like constantly focusing on the fact that, oh, I can't work out, I've got this to do, I've got that to do, I've got this to do, I'm too busy, I'm this, I feel angry, I feel sad, I'm so depressed, this my life is going horribly, the last thing your brain is going to want to do is do something positive, because remember, like whatever you repeat, your body like enjoys. So if you repeat the depressive thoughts, if you repeat the negative energy, your body will actually just soak it up. So then it doesn't want to do anything that's positive. So how are you going to like want to work out if you're like you're always in the negative headspace? So practicing joy and gratitude actually helps with motivation, because then you want to take care of yourself. You feel grateful and thankful to be alive, and you want to do well. You want to take care of your body. You want to move your body. So number 5 is to practice gratitude. The other thing you should know about it is that it is normal, absolutely normal, for motivation to come and go. This idea that, again, we are motivated all the time, and there's never any dips, please, that's like not even reality. Motivation is a temporary feeling, discipline is what keeps you going. So on your journey, especially when you first start, motivation is really high. And while you're motivated, you should really, really focus on good habits, because when that motivation comes down, that discipline will keep you going. So that's why it's so crucial that when you start a new program, that you really dive into like good habits. Because if you do a program that's like something that you can't sustain, then when that motivation wanes, so will uh, your motivation, so will your behaviors. So the other thing that you should know is that because motivation comes and goes, it's really important to have accountability during the times where you're first building your habits, because motivation is like a to me, it's like a magic pill. When you have motivation, you should really take advantage of that. And that's when you want to be held accountable. That's when you want to build habits, because let's say you have motivation for like 3 months. 90 days is a great amount of time for you to actually build habits that will last you for the rest of your life. If you do the same thing every week for 90 days, your body will crave that thing, because remember, action creates motivation. So if you decide, okay, I'm going to work out 3 days a week for 90 days, your body will then go, I need to work out. Even if you're done with your program, even if you're done with whatever nutrition or health, plan you were on, your body will still crave that repetitiveness, because you have now created a motivation for your body to do that. So that's really powerful. Number 7, talking about the work may start it, but doing the work sustains it. So the tricky thing is, like, we can feel motivated and we start making all these plans, and we're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But if you don't actually do any of those things, it doesn't work. And the illusion of motivation is that it can actually, like, we're just talking about it and we're going to do all this stuff, and that can feel like you're doing work, like the planning of it, the talking about it, the making and mapping the thing out. It feels like you're doing work, but you're not actually doing it. So I'll take it. I'll tell you guys, be honest with you guys. Sometimes I'll plan out my whole day and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. And I'm planning this whole day. And then when the day gets there, I don't actually do all of those things because I was like super motivated in that moment, but I didn't actually execute. So execution is important above all. And you guys, you may not be motivated right now, and that's okay. Sometimes I'm not motivated, but the key thing is learning to bypass that feeling of motivation and going, I'm not motivated, but I'm still going to do it anyway. That is really the key. You can create motivation by doing and taking action. So let me review the 7 hard truths about motivation. Number one, nobody feels motivated all the time. Get that lie out of your head right now. Number two, action creates motivation. Number three, sleep restores meditation. Number four, motivation thrives in community. Number five, practicing joy and gratitude will help you to stay motivated. Number six, it is normal for motivation to come and go. And number seven, talking about the work is different than doing the work. Execute, execute, execute. All right, you guys, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.